My first love from college who cheated on me, now begging for me saying she couldn't breathe when saw my face and wants to be part of my life after over 15 years. She just got divorced. Her husband left her for a younger woman. She's 36. I'm 38. Her husband is 43 and left her for a 23-year-old Swedish girl at his work. She has 3 kids with him, one 8 and 2 young ones 3 and 4. She contacted me on Facebook saying she couldn't breathe when she saw my face again. She said I was so handsome and that she aged and all this stuff. Saw me on the alumni page of our college when I decided to join the group. I decided to answer her back pretending to be friendly, but the pain came back. I forgot about this woman, and it took me 3 years to get over her and move on. I still remember her making a pact with some girls in her class saying she would never date me. That's what one of the girls told me she said, and the other girls told her I was weak, not good enough for her. She deserves a strong man, all these weird things that made no sense. It was like they were jealous and planting seeds in her head. I still remember telling her, "You shouldn't tell those girls everything about our life. If you even say something like you were sad or hurt, they'll try to plant seeds," and she cried and said she didn't know who to trust. Well, she trusted them over me making out with 10 people including mutual friends and 2 of the girls who I thought were our close friends. This was around the mid-2000s. She claims she was drunk. She tried to work things out with me, but the trust was broken. I tried but couldn't do it, so I just left. It was hard missing her and holding her and her smile. I only got over when a friend of ours ran into me at the bookstore. I would talk about old times and I asked about her, and she told me she moved on from me real quick. She never asked about me. She never missed me. She started dating several guys, etc., including one of our friends. All of my friends were basically her friends as well. What's sad is I was friends with them first, and then she came along and I decided these were not good people to be around. They all hid what she did away from me, and all told her negative things about me. She ended up getting married. This is what she told me in her post, and said she saw me during COVID. She still works and said she was so grateful for being able to have a high-paying job during this time. And I told her I was laid off and a bum to try to get her to lose interest more. She said her husband cheated on her, told her one day that he met another woman, and it shook her. She couldn't stop crying and he left her in 2019, and she tried to fight for their marriage, but he said he got his mistress pregnant and they finalized the divorce quickly. She said, and she wants full custody, but he gets to have them from time to time. He said that was the least he could do for the pain he caused. She told me this was the man her sister and girlfriends all picked for her. They basically approved him. He wasn't a good-looking guy, not charming, but he had a head on his shoulders and took care of his mom and family. She told me this was the guy she chose over me, and when she said that, she started crying. She asked me about my life and if I was married or had kids. I said no. So she messaged me showing pics of us together, and like everything was like old times. And I'm getting enraged at her, like, how the hell does this woman think everything is good? But she not know how she ended our relationship? She took their side over me. She left me for dead. She never cared to check up on me, and now she only contacts me when she lost her looks. Her husband left her and used her. I remained calm, and she asked to hear my voice. She said, "Can I call you?" I don't know. I figured okay, and at the moment I say hello, she starts crying. She said, "I can't believe it. My stomach is empty. I miss your voice. I can't breathe," and it's real tears like flowing, and I said, "Are you okay? Don't cry." She tells me she couldn't stop thinking about me. How I used to smile at her, how I was so spontaneous and would make her laugh and charming, and she said she remembered the cologne. I wore everything. I'm on the phone containing myself because I'm mixed feelings here. I'm happy and sad. Happy to hear from the woman I loved many moons ago, and sad because she stabbed me in the back and never gave a crap about me. We talk and she asked to meet up just one time. I hang up the phone. She texts me and says, "I'm sorry." I text back and say, "Sorry for what?" She can't answer. She said, "I can see you in person. It's easier for me to explain." I said it's best we not meet in person with this COVID, and all she said, "No. They let you go out to eat outside. We can catch a bite. I need to see you or I'll crumble." I can't. She told me she listened to the wrong advice and should have listened to me, but she struggled. She told me she cried for days struggling on what to do. She wanted to be with me, but they told her I was a bum and will never be anything, and then I was a pretty boy and pretty boys always cheat. So she cheated on me to get me to not like her anymore. She claims that why she made out with multiple people at a party because she knew I wouldn't stop loving her. And she said her friends and family didn't like me and she couldn't choose me over them. Then me being the caring person, I didn't want to hear that. She already been through so much and her husband left her, she has nobody, etc. So I said, please don't bring that up. It's hurting me too, and I don't want to get angry. It's the past. Let's move forward, focus on your kids, and maybe some single father will date you, and your guys can have a blended family or something. I asked my aunts and female cousins for advice, and they told me she is a devil. She is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Don't give her the time of day. This woman never loved you. A woman who loves you will die for you. She will never want to see you hurt. You are a good man. You care too much and she knows that. Why are you feeling sorry for her? My aunt then tells me, ask yourself this: when you were hurting, was she there for you? If you were in her shoes, would she do the same for you? I said no, she wouldn't. Just recently her girlfriends messaged me instead if I really loved her. I would give her a second chance. When I read this I was pissed off. Loved her second chance. What the heck about me? She broke me, left me for dead, and now they're trying to put a guilt trip on me. Like, what the heck? I just messaged back and said I didn't mean to her, but she left me for that guy. How would you feel? She said, I understand, but just because she has 3 kids doesn't mean she can't love you. She did love you before. Forgive her and move on. You ain't young yourself either. So this friend who I knew as well is talking to me like this. She was one of the girlfriends who advised her that I was no good. She hooked her up with that guy. She married. So I'm saying to myself, if this girl really did love me, why is she still talking to this no-good woman and having her message me? Then 2 days later her father messages me saying my daughter is hurting here and she would just like some closure. Could you at least give her that? I'm shocked. Again, closure? Why do I need to give her what she wants when I wanted closure? She never gave me anything. She left me for dead. I can't believe it. This is the man who hated my guts and loved that guy. She married the playing guy who cheated now. He has the nerve to force me to get back with his daughter. This is crazy stuff. And I'm glad my aunts and cousins told me what the real truth is, and her father trying to get me to take her back. After she was used up and tossed the curb with 3 kids after this man even told her that her husband was a much better man than me. I'm getting angry here. How should I handle the situation? Please help. Update 1. I struggled, but I had to meet her. I already made a mistake by answering her messages on Facebook and then letting her call my phone, and I met up with her. I tried my best not to be so angry or show anger. When I met, she was already waiting outside in front of the restaurant. She saw me walking up there. I had a mask in my hand and didn't notice her at first until she saw me. I was walking and I saw someone crying with her hands covering her face. It was her, and she ran up to me and hugged me. I didn't hug her back. My hands were to my side. She was making like a big scene and people were there, and an older woman walked by us and said, "Are you guys married? Is he coming back from the service?" I said, "No, just an old college friend," and the old woman said, "Well, she is hello emotional for just an old friend. You guys are cute together." I was already thinking this was a bad idea. She was making a scene, getting all emotional, and people looking at us like we were in love, or she was in love, and they were going to kiss her. I kept my composure, and we ordered and waited for our food outside. She looked older, a little bit more weight. She told me, "I miss you," and that our heart is pounding. We started talking. She showed me photos of her daughters, and I said they looked just like their father, and she was really happy, but for me, I wasn't. She was acting like everything was all good. I just played along. We ate and finished our food, and I wanted to talk to her in private. So I said, let's walk toward that park area and sit on a bench and talk. I said, so what is the reason you wanted to meet me? She said straight up that she misses me, and she told me to please listen to her and not get mad. She isn't good at explaining. She told me she FD up. She told me she understands if I don't want anything to do with her. But she said if I hadn't been through the stuff I did, if I hadn't been with the guys I did and married the guy I did, and him leave me, I would never know you were the one. I then snapped on her. I couldn't take this. I first talked calmly and told her, so let me see if I'm getting this straight. So you cheat on me and remain friends with the girls who talked crap about me, and you French kissed at the party, and the friends who you French kissed and made out with, but you left me to die. You left me the one who loved you the most, the one who only confided in you, the one who had nobody. You left me for dead. You did that. And I asked her, do you still talk to those friends? She starts crying and says yes. So you abandoned me, and now you want me to be part of your life again after your husband cheats on you, leaves you for a younger woman. She goes, I understand, while crying. I said to her, do you know how offensive and shameless this is, that you would have the nerve to suggest what you suggested? Like, I'm winning some type of prize. What the F do I get that's so special? What do you have to offer me that these younger women don't? You already cheated on me. You already left me for dead. You lied. You betrayed me. You still talk to those people and chose them over me and listened to them over me, and you had kids with another man. So that shows to me that you are using me, that you don't care about me. You think I'm some type of sucker who will just forgive you. And she starts crying hard and is having a panic attack, saying, I don't know how to say it. I don't, and I'm sorry. I beat myself every day for what I'd done to you. I then yell, BS, you were full of it. You moved on from me. They told me. And she goes, who told you? I said, it doesn't matter. You dated guys. I hated guys we knew right after you left me. I felt guilty thinking it was all my fault. And you lie. Even now you lie. You never asked about me. They showed a video of us together, and you didn't even shed a tear 3 years after you left me. I'm not doing this to hurt you, because I know how you are. You will go talk to your sisters, to your girlfriends after this, because you don't know how to think on your own 2 feet. And they will say the same crap they always did, that I'm no good, and you deserve better, and yada yada. I told her I loved you. I wanted you to have my babies. If you had married me, I'd still be with you today. She said, I know. Her sister calls up, and she is babysitting for her, and she said she has to go to work soon. So we cut her meeting short. I walk her to her car, and she then tries to hug me again. And I say no, and she fights with me saying no. And I just let her hug me, and she starts smelling my neck and tells me how she misses my scent and my cologne, etc. Shortly after I get home before bed, she sends me a text message saying, I will not stop fighting for you. You asked me, what do you get that's special? Nothing. You're right. I gave myself to others, but I never felt what I feel with you, and I fought it out and listened to others' advice. And I chose against you, and I paid dearly and suffering for it. She said, you deserve to have a fresh start with a younger woman. You deserve that. All I can do is try and prove to you that I won't stop fighting for you. I hope you forgive me, but if you don't, I also understand. That is the last message she sent me, and I didn't reply. And here is the final update. So I stopped talking to her after meeting up, as you all know in part 2 update. She would send my Facebook messages, but then stop. Then before Christmas, she sends me a message, a text message, and then a voicemail and Facebook asking me what I will be doing for Christmas or New Year's Eve. She sent me some quote on forgiveness again and learning, and some story of some person who didn't mature until later, and that everyone learns. Some mature faster than others. Basically hinting that the story is about her, that she didn't realize she hurt someone until she lost everything. And now she feels the pain of that person she hurt and didn't realize that person is someone she should have been with. Anyway, I didn't reply to her after Christmas. Her friend messaged me on Facebook and said I was a pathetic excuse for a man. She said I was a coward and didn't deserve her, and then I was weak for not moving on and forgiving her. She also said a man would never do what I did and hurt a woman's feelings, that I was showing my true colors and mean-spirited. She then said if I really loved her, I would have gave her a second chance, and said all that stuff I said about loving her years ago was all fake then, because now that she is single and not as good looking, it shows. I was shallow, and I only loved her for her looks. She really ripped on me. I decided to message her friend back and told her, well, what do I get that's so special? She said, what do you mean? And I said she cheated on me, left me, basically abandoned me and never thought about me, and had kids with another man that you helped to prove and hook her up with, and told her I was no good years ago. Her friend didn't bother answering and just sent me the talk to the hand emoji and said, you know what, this condo is over, you loser. It's 2021, women deserve better. Bye. Bye. She couldn't answer when I told her you hooked her up with the husband who cheated on her. Her friends are toxic. I do still feel bad for her. She was naive and indecisive, and it's sad when girls can't think on their own like my ex. They have controlling women who do stuff like this as friends. I shut her up with the comment about her hooking her up and approving her ex-husband who ended up cheating and telling her I was no good years ago. This friend is a piece of crud, no remorse. She can't feel guilt or refuses to feel guilty or bad for her advising my ex not to be with me, but then hooking her up with a piece of crud who married her and then cheated and left her hanging. So instead she attacks me, calls me less of a man. I haven't seen this girl in 15 years. So what the heck? It's my fault. Talk about crying to deflect or take away any blame for herself.